Some people say you are more busy in retirement than you are when you are working, but I choose to look at it as I'm more busy doing the things that I choose to do instead of the things that I have to do around my working hours. So today I'm going to take you along with me and show you some of the things that I did this week, some of the things that I ate this week, and let you decide for yourself how busy I am. Hi, I'm Bonita and I am early retired. I'm not old enough yet for Social Security. I'm living on a low income and I am living off of savings. I live in Kansas on a farm and I have a donkey. This is Brownie. I have frugal videos all year round, and I hope that you will join me this year as we share ways to save money and live our dreams. If you're new to the channel, I have had a really busy year. I spent the first 3 months in Texas in my RV, 3 miles from the Mexico border, trying to find some warm weather. And then I came home for a week and 6 days. My husband and I headed to Florida for a week down there on vacation. I was home for a day and a half. And then I headed to North Carolina to stay with my grandson, and that trip was 16 days. Now I'm home for 3 weeks and I'm getting ready to go to my middle boy's home, which is several hours away, and I will be dog sitting for 3 weeks. Normally, my year doesn't look like this. So I'm not home a bunch this year to try to get my gardening in around these times that I'm home and then have my husband water the plants. I take plants with me everywhere I go. I've taken them to Texas, I've taken them to North Carolina, and I enjoy my gardening of fresh vegetables. I really don't have any flowers, even though I have planted some several times. I have some morning glories that are starting to come up, but most of the time I just have the ones that come up every single year. Those are the kind that I really like. So I squeeze the fun things that I want to do in around my schedule. And my schedule stays pretty busy. So I would have to say that I am busy in retirement. I do 3 YouTube videos a week, and it takes a while to plan and to edit and to make them the way that I want them presented. And coming up with the ideas sometimes takes me a bit. So that does take quite a bit of my time. But this week alone, I've had baseball games on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. This month, even though I've been home very little, I've squeezed in 4 mystery shops. And I just signed up with a second mystery shop company, and this one does some grocery stores. So I will be bringing home some free groceries for doing a report. So those are some of the things I've been doing in my time during this month. Let me know some of the things that you're doing in retirement. I want to follow my grandkids' ball games, and I do miss some of them when I'm traveling, but I hit every one of them when I'm home. So I'm also going to show you some of the things that I ate this week. And 2 of the meals actually had some of my mystery shop leftovers in them. That makes my food stretch. So the first meal that I had a leftover pita bread from my mystery shop, and I added my homegrown lettuce, half of an avocado. I had a tomato on the side. I had a piece of cheese split between the 2 halves, some mustard because I have to have mustard. And then I also had the black peppered turkey deli meat that I showed you in a prior video that I got several of and froze for $2.19 a package. So that's some of the things we've been eating this week. That's also some of the things my husband has been taking to work. And then my mystery shop also included some garlicky fried potatoes. Now, the garlic was way too strong, in my opinion. And I do like garlic, but it was overpowering. So rather than let that go to waste, I threw in about 3/4 of a cup of those garlicky potatoes, which I will continue to use up until they're gone, some of my frozen orange pepper, some onion that I had in the refrigerator that I had brought from Texas from the flea market. We are still eating that onion. And then also one egg. And I made a scramble and it toned down the garlic and made it absolutely delicious. So even though sometimes we make things or we go out to eat and we get things and they're not that great, some people might be tempted to say, I'm not taking that home because I didn't like it. But I took it home and decided to rework those leftovers because all of those meals I can stretch out of that mystery shop not only stretches my food budget, but it also gives me different options of things to eat around the house. As you can see, I like to work in being frugal with being busy and doing some fun things that I like to do that stretch my dollar so that I don't miss out on anything that I want to do. And that's why I do some of the things that I just told you about. All of those may not have sounded frugal, but they absolutely were because I do them in a frugal manner. Even my vacation and trip taking has frugal components all the way through. And I have a bunch of videos explaining about that. One of the things I wanted to check off my list this week before I leave was getting my camper restocked. I like to keep my camper ready to go at any given time. I really haven't had time to get back out there since I got home from Texas. And I like to have it stocked so that I can decide what I'm going to take for cold food and then just look at the climate and repack my clothes that I need for whatever climate for however long we're going to be gone. Everything else is ready to go at all times. And it kind of serves as a backup pantry. I do have a few different things that I keep in the camper for convenience that I don't keep in the house, but it has canned vegetables, it has toilet paper, it has laundry detergent, dishwashing detergent. It has a lot of backup items in it as well. So if I ever got to the point that I was out of something in the house, I wouldn't have to run to the store. I would just go check the RV first and use out of there and continue to make the list of what I needed so I could catch it on sale. I know camping can be expensive for some people, and the reason it can be expensive is because they will decide they're going to go camping and then they'll go out and spend like $200 for this weekend of camping food. Our camping food doesn't always look like the traditional camping food. We're not always cooking out hamburgers and hot dogs and having potato chips. I use the kitchen and I cook outside in the summer on a little table again. I take my turkey roaster so that I can bake out there. I have a crock pot. I use all of that so we can have real meals, not just camping food. So when you decide to go camping and then you go to the store and buy your chicken that you're going to barbecue and all, that's where the food really gets expensive in camping. One of the other things that I had on my list was to replace the slip strip on our step to the RV. And so I did that as well while I was stocking the camper. That is something that I didn't realize until it rained so much in Texas this year that that slip strip was completely worn off. The sad part about camping is I don't think Fluff is going to get to go with me anymore. He's had 2 winter seasons of really bad allergies that have resulted in some health issues when he has switched to coming to Texas with all of the allergens. And the vet said that they see that a lot in animals that travel with their families to another region, that they get sick and have a lot of problems with their allergies. So unfortunately, I don't think he can do that. He might be able to go on some weekend camping trips where he stays close to home in his own region because he really loves the RV. He gets so excited every time we put him in the RV, like, yes, we're going camping. I also have been spending time reading. This is the fourth book in this series by this author. All of his books are like 700 to 900 pages long, and I've been pushing myself to get through the books because I have another one on hold from an interlibrary loan waiting for me to pick it up. So these are some of the things I've been doing. I take them with me when I travel, and then I call in to recheck it out again if I'm not done or I'm not home to return it. But yeah, I know it's a rough life. And then, of course, I'm doing all of those things that we used to do around working hours. I usually do my chores in the morning and try to get them out of the way so that I have time to do what I want to do the rest of the day. I wash the few dishes that we have in the sink. I usually do laundry if we need to do laundry. That's usually just twice a week, and then I hang it on the line. I water my plants every single day. I get the mail. I vacuum when it's needed. I sweep when it's needed. I change sheets when it's needed. But all of those normal little things used to be crammed into the day or the weekend when we worked. We all know this. And when you're in retirement, you can do these things at will. You can do these things when you need to do them. You can break them up in little batches and say, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to wait on that until tomorrow because we know we're going to have the time to skip it if we feel like skipping it today. And so busyness is all in the eye of the beholder. How busy do you want to be? Some people have a hard time slipping from working full time to having their schedule open and making their own schedule. I have never had that problem. I've never really had like a housekeeping schedule at my house. To me, that felt like back in the nursing home, being at work, being on job duties, having to initial off all of those things. So I prefer to run my home on a basis of I do what needs done as I see it needs done. I don't have things on cleaning schedules. I don't have certain days I do laundry. I like to be very flexible in how I do my housework and how I plan my time. And that's one of the joys for me in retirement is getting to stock the camper today. I've needed to do it now since I got home at the 1st of April. I haven't had time. Today I had time. So I just work those things in as I have time and as I feel like I want to do them. Last summer, I did a lot of painting in different areas. This summer, I probably won't get to that. Last year, I did a lot of decluttering, a lot of donating items. I'm not sure how much of that I'm going to get to this summer either. I would like to do some of that, but I'm just going to have to see how my time plays out. Last year, I sold a bunch of stuff on eBay as I was decluttering. I would like to do that again, but I need to be home to be able to package things up and run them to the post office if they sell. I don't want to cart that stuff around with me as I'm traveling in case and then try to find a post office. So a lot of the things that we do in retirement, they may even change year to year, month to month, depending on what is going on in our life at the time and what takes priorities. Right now, my grandchildren's ball games, they take priorities when I'm home. Everything else can be done around when their ball games are. I'm not going to miss a ball game. So it's up to us in retirement how we plan our day. And then everything I do, I plan frugal stuff into that to make it where I don't miss on anything. I don't want to miss anything. So if I need extra gas money, I may do a few more shops, things like that. So let me know, what does your day look like? How busy are you? Are you able to get the things done that you need to get done? And where are you fitting in on that? I would love to read your comments on how busy you are and how you can fit in things that need done or things that you want to do around your schedule. I hope you'll come back and see me. Thanks for watching today, and I hope to see you soon.